everybody, it's been a long time since I've uploaded a video, and I actually have a couple of things on the go for videos, but I have to wait on some footage. So I wanted to show you this project. It is a large Midori art book that I made. And for those who don't know what a Midori book is, it's a book on an elastic system which holds all the pages in. So none of the pages are fixed together with glue or thread, and you're able to remove each individual page, which is an amazing thing to do because this system lets you choose what kind of paper you want to put in your book. If you want watercolor paper, which is what all these pages are in my book, I chose watercolor paper. But you can do cardstock, you can do lined paper as long as the sheets are big enough, so you just have to be mindful of that. And then here I am, I took a page out and painted it outside of the journal. It just makes the painting process easier. I'm able to lay the paper flat and tape it down if I need to. Also, I'm not ruining the pages when I take them out. I don't have to tear it out of the book and ruin the page or risk ruining the book binding. It's just easy to remove, and if I want to put it in a different section, I can organize my book. So it's been very freeing. And I think art block happens to people because they are working in a fixed book and there's a pressure to do things perfectly and not make a mistake. So they end up not using their book. At least that's what happens to me, and this book removes that pressure, and if you make a mistake, it's easy to take out the page without ruining the book and replace it with a new one. Okay, so here's a quick rundown of the project. I lost the footage on how to remove the binder rings, but there's these two posts on the top and on the bottom, and you use a tool to squeeze them together. Then you're able to pop off the binder rings. Next, I took the paper that I'd be using to fill the Midori book, and I did a quick measurement against the binder. It turned out that the binder was way too wide, and I had to cut it about 1/2 inch is what I took off. Then I created 2 holes at the bottom and the top and used the leftover cardboard bits with some glue to fill the binder holes. Next, I cut some canvas, and I made sure that I had about 1/2 inch of extra fabric around the binder, and I took some Elmer's glue and added a bit of water to it until it was not like so runny, but maybe a little bit thicker than milk. Then I broke the book down into sections that I was going to glue first, starting with the left side, and I had to do 2 thin layers of glue because with the first coating, it gets absorbed into the cardboard and it dries really fast, and the second layer doesn't dry as fast, so that's when you're able to put your canvas on and kind of manipulate and pull the fabric to make sure that it's equal on all sides. And then I took a ruler to smooth out the fabric and work it into the edging of the spine. And I have to stress that you do really thin coats of glue. You don't want to make it globby where you're going to have like big spots of glue, because it's going to bleed through the canvas part and it's just going to make a mess. So make sure that you're doing like really thin coats. Also, I forgot to mention the brush that I use is just like a painting brush, and it works perfectly. Also, after you're done using it, you can just put it in some hot soapy water and work out the glue and use it again. So okay, so back to what you're seeing here is I glued the spine, and I used the ruler to, again, smooth it out, work it into the edging of the spine, and next I'll just be applying glue to the right side of the binder and gluing that down, smoothing it out as well. So I lost some footage here that shows you how to cut the corners on the fabric so that when you are folding the edges down on the other side, they don't overlap. And I'll do my best to kind of show you a mark right now. So it's kind of an L-shaped cut at the corners, and I had to trim up my fabric because it was a little bit too long, and I wanted to make sure that it was a half an inch on all sides, and also to get rid of those loose threads that you can see on the edges. And if you have the edges of your fabric continuing to fray on you, just put a little bit of glue on them and let it dry, and then you can kind of cut the threads off and they'll stop fraying on you. Okay, so I lost some footage, but what I'm doing right now is using a tool to break through the fabric and the paper that I glued down, so I can reinforce those holes and get ready to put in some eyelets. And what I did was I took 2 pieces of watercolor paper and glued it down on the inside, and then when they met up at the middle of the spine, I just glued a strip of watercolor paper there too to cover up the join. For this book, I chose gold eyelets. I thought it'd look really nice with the white paper and the canvas. And I don't really get to show you how much I struggled with putting these in. The tool that it comes with, you have to use a hammer and hammer it through so it creates a hole. So I did that, and it didn't seem to create a large enough hole for the eyelets to fit through, and I had to use a different tool. I think I used an X-Acto knife to kind of carve out the hole and make it wider. So it took a lot longer than what you see here. Next, I'm going to thread the book, and what I'm using is this black elastic cord that I had on hand. Later on, I kind of want to switch it out for a white elastic cord, and maybe one that's just a little bit thicker so it's stronger. But for now, this works. So here's the direction of how to thread the book. You can kind of see what's going on. I start on the inside of the book, and then I just like loop it around to the next hole and draw the cord through. That's what it looks like on the back. And then do the same thing at the bottom. I put it through the hole, drag it through to the next hole, and draw the cord through. And once you have it through the hole, all you have to do is just tie a knot to join and secure the elastic. And I'm just adjusting the cord so that it's an even tension. Next, I'm going to be filling the book, and I'm using Canson's 140-pound watercolor paper, and it's 11 inches by 15 inches. So when you fold the page in half, you actually get a 11 inch by 7.5 inch page. And I'm using a wooden tool just to crisp up the edge. So that's what I did. I took the whole entire pad and I folded all the sheets in half, and I started to create sections where you stack pages into each other. So I have about 5 pages per section, and that's actually called a signature. And I was able to make 4 individual signatures. I decided to make a cover for one of the sections, and I'll end up decorating it later. I'm also showing you how the edges of the signature is uneven, and this doesn't really bug me, but if I want them to align, all I have to do is take an X-Acto knife or a paper trimmer and cut the edges so that they're all even. So right now, those 2 elastic cords in the middle will hold a signature, so you'll only have 2 signatures. And right now I'm showing you how to extend the book so that it can hold 4 signatures. So I took an elastic cord and tied it off at the end to create a loop, and now I'm taking a signature, finding the middle, and pulling it through the loop. Next, I we'll take another signature and do the exact same thing. You open it up to find the middle, and then you just drag it through the loop. So that's what this looks like. And you can follow these exact steps and create sections just like this that I'm showing you here, and extend the book even further. And then how you add it to the book is you just pull up the two middle cords and you drag all the sections through. So you can extend this book quite a few times. The spine is wide enough that it would be able to hold probably 8, maybe even 10 sections, but for now I'm just doing 4. Okay, so now all I have to do is add the last sections into the book. So here I am finding the one elastic cord and feeding a signature through, and I just kind of pulled the section apart to grab the last cord, and I'm finding the middle of the signature and feeding it through the book. So yay! Okay, that's how you do it. I hope this was enough footage to kind of give you a sense on how to make your own Midori, and I hope you guys like this video, and if you do, please like and subscribe, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. Bye!